What's up? I'm B and welcome to my channel. I hope you are having a great January so far. I hope the new year is treating you well. And if you saw my last video, you know that now that we are in January, thus begins the month of unpredictability in my life and in my content. We mainly do talk about current events and YouTube drama on this channel, so I'm going to do my best to keep up with some things that are going on, but I'm really not going to have as much time to pay attention to all of the drama, dig into it, get the details, and put those videos together that you are used to seeing on my channel. However, I will do my best to keep up with some things, and I am also going to introduce some new forms of content on my channel, so I'm excited to give those a whirl and see if you like them. But in any case, I do have a current events video for y'all today. This was recommended on my community tab by Madeline Jane, who suggested I look into the situation, and honestly, I had no idea about it. We're going to be going over the details together in the words of the people who experienced it. Now, Minilad has been on the platform for over 9 years and has over 5.21 million subscribers. I've never watched his channel before, but some of his most recent videos include memes that make me question humanity, memes that my $1,300 giraffe enjoys, memes to laugh at, videos that make everyone laugh. It seems like it's kind of a lot of, not necessarily compilation, but getting things together to react to. But this video isn't really about his content, it's about the fact that two of his former fans have come out and accused him of being extremely inappropriate with them when they were underage. Now, this happened back in June of 2020, and he put out an initial statement. We'll go over all that, and then he most recently put out a video apology. So we're going to go over the initial accusations, initial response, and react to the most recent apology video. So let's just go ahead and get into it. So this first statement is from Hallie, also known as WeirdGirl2364 on Twitter. Both she and Ash posted longer posts about the situation. Hallie says, "First of all, I want to say that I am not doing this because I hate him. I am disappointed in him. There's a difference. I am not doing this for malicious intent as well. He has rejected help and told the internet he would get therapy and then never did. Even after so many years, to hear that his actions of arrogance have not decreased makes me feel like a fool for not sharing this sooner in protection of any other women who associate themselves with him. Craig has always been a friend of mine, but it never felt genuine at all. Sure, he helped me in times of need, and for that I'm forever grateful for that side of him. But the things he has said and done to others, such as myself, makes me question if he is truly humble or not with the support he has given me personally. When I was 16, around the time Craig and his ex had broken up, he was severely depressed. I saw the dark side of him with his depression, and I will choose out of respect to keep that private unless it involves what I will be talking about. It took me years to realize that he used his suicidal tendencies to pity him into not talking about these things publicly. The fact that I can't look at his name without thinking about the shit he did to me really bugs me to this day. So, that being said, this is my story. I honestly do not remember when or why Craig and I started talking more. I think it was more so I was worried for him and tried to be a good friend because of the breakup at the time. So I was there for him, direct messaging him through Twitter during my classes, listening to his worries about his ex, or even just to talk. Then things started to get more personal and darker with the conversations. He would go to me for venting to see if there were ways to get back to his ex or help her change and whatnot. Of course, me trying to be a good friend, I listened to everything he had to say and even said, sure, there is hope in changing her and like that. Even talked about her with him, which was very wrong with me. I'll admit I was being a bit of an ass kisser, reason being I had a crush on him. He knew that. I had to sometimes sit and listen to him talk about how he got an erection over his ex or whatever. Why is he talking about that with her? Not only with a fan who you've become friends with, which we'll get to a conversation point about that later, but somebody who is underage. Why are you talking about that with her? Despite him knowing how I felt about him. But then, don't remember why, but we were joking around to where I said something about his being small. I guess he took it personally, as you will see in the replies of our conversation that started on Twitter, that he moved to Discord so he could delete photos he sent me. He sent me pictures of him in his underwear to show off his bulge of his penis. She's underage. She's underage. She's underage, which I did not ask for at all. I want to clarify the reason I was acting cool with it was because I had a crush on him, so whatever, right? And so didn't really know better. Remember, I was a minor, I was 16, he knew that I liked him. Sent me those photos to someone he knew liked him for a boost of ego. The worst part is I was not the only person he's done this to. It was someone else who will come out that I will retweet. She experienced much, much more weird to say to an effing minor. That will be Ash's place to say. I think a year after the situation happened with him sending me photos, I confronted him about it and he apologized and said he knew he hurt me and regrets it. However, it makes me question if he said that just so I didn't turn against him and help expose him. The fact I even had to question it, even to this day, truly says a lot. Ash was at one point going to expose him, but me being the fool I was, I defended Craig. I was blinded by his lies and manipulation. He told me he did not know of Ash much and never talked to her in a dating manner and whatnot. He also said he didn't know she was underage, saying that Ash told him he was 18. All of that was a lie. I eventually caught him in that lie and went back to him and asked if this was really a screenshot that I'll post below. He confessed and I was utterly distraught. I couldn't even talk to him for a day. He begged and begged me to talk to him. Eventually, I did, and he fully admitted he was scared I would turn against him. Reading back our messages to myself, I felt like he wasn't scared to lose our friendship, but his career. That was it. And just to clarify, the saying that Ash told him he was 18, that's just a typo. Ash is a young lady. When he and Sammy got together, I told him if he was to date her, he should be honest about the creepy shit he has done. He said he would, then later told me he wouldn't. I shrugged it off and had hope maybe he would come to his senses. I only just found out he never said a word to her, and I had to be the one to tell Sammy. The only reason it was brought up, though, before the whole you should tell her was because he was being threatened to be exposed by someone who I will not publicly name who was friends with Ash. He was scared of losing his career and how it would ruin his friendships. Okay, so it makes sense that somebody was threatening to expose him because I was thinking that that's a very kind of optimistic viewpoint to have of saying like, well, since you're dating somebody new, you should tell her about the creepy stuff you did. And hoping that he actually would. Because honestly, he would have no motivation to tell Sammy what's going on or what he had done in the past. But when you're being threatened with it, I understand why she's saying it should come from you first. Like, you should tell your girlfriend about this stuff before somebody else does. Back to this though, Craig, if you didn't want that, you shouldn't have done what you did in the first place and not excused your actions with being depressed and suicidal. You manipulated me into keeping my mouth shut for so long because I was terrified of what you could do to yourself. That goes for a lot of people who knew about the situation. There's no excuse for you being the way you were with underage girls such as myself at the time. I still believe you can get help. I know you're a good person, but you need therapy. Stop running away from it. Stop saying you don't need it. And never lie to your fans about taking it again. You know your supporters deserve better than that. You're human enough to realize that. I really tried to be a good friend. I even to this day tried to be one, but this can't sit right with me, especially that still to this day, every time I see your name, I think about everything. Now, all of that being said, the very firm reasons I have for coming out with this is 1, his behavior towards minors was inappropriate. He was an adult. 2, I don't want this to happen to others. 3, I'm hoping he takes ownership of some of his actions towards me, others, and gets the help he very much needs. 4, I feel like a heavy weight will be lifted off of me sharing this story. Thank you for listening to me. Stay safe, everyone. Obviously, all of that is super inappropriate, and I can understand the predicament Hallie is in if she was a fan who became a little bit closer with him as time went on. Even though he hurt her and was inappropriate with her, she still felt this loyalty. And I'm sure it was super hard to come out and speak about this. So honestly, props to her for being willing to come forward and talk about this because it could not have been easy. And I can tell even reading this, she said, I don't want this to happen to others, and I hope that he takes ownership and gets the help he needs. This doesn't sound like it was written with malicious intent, more of just I need to get this off my chest, and I need other people to know so things can get better and no one else gets hurt. Now we are going to move on to Ash, who is Bullet Baby on Twitter, and both of these girls mention that there are photos in the replies, so I will link their actual tweets down below in case you want to go through, see those screenshots. They are pretty upsetting. They're very bad. Like, let's just chat about it right now. Um, don't get into these personal relationships with people who are fans of your channel because there's an inherent power dynamic there. These people want to please you and want to make you happy. So even if you make them uncomfortable, chances are it's going to be really hard for them to stick up for themselves or to dictate what kind of behavior and what kind of relationship is acceptable to them. Additionally, when these people are underage, I don't even know why this has to be a thing that is said. Don't form personal relationships with people who are underage. Don't do it. It's weird. These are young girls who looked up to him and were fans of him, and he knows that they can be easily manipulated because they want to make him happy. It just shouldn't happen. It really shouldn't, and I don't understand where the logic is in thinking that this is okay or thinking that it's something that you can get away with. I really don't. So again, this is Ash's story. My experience with Mini Lad, I was 17, photos and replies. When I was 16, I was a huge fan of Craig and his friends. I'd made a fan account for him on Twitter to make friends with other people and became good friends with an amazing group of girls. We had a group chat where we talked daily and would often tweet Craig in hopes of being tweeted back. Right there, massive fans that you knew you could take advantage of. One of the girls in the group tweeted Craig asking if he wanted to join the group chat. By our surprise, he said yes. He followed the girl who had tweeted him initially and was added, where we all chatted for a little bit before he left. Nothing out of the ordinary happened, and we were so excited to have been able to talk to someone we looked up to. A little later, he followed me and sent me a DM to say he would not have been added to the group if it hadn't been for me. I was confused as I had no part in him joining the group chat but was excited anyway. He told me if I ever needed anything, I could reach out, and then he began to discuss his recent breakup and how poorly it was affecting his mental health. Get it? Everybody needs support. Most if not all of us go through mental health struggles, but your fans are not the people to speak to about those things. Going to a 16-year-old to talk you through your mental health struggle, incredibly inappropriate. This should not be happening. Anyway, so she said, so I told him he could do the same. I was over the moon to feel so close to the person I was infatuated with. We were casually friendly for a while with many tweets back and forth and the occasional DM. He added me on Snapchat, don't do that, where we chatted here and there, nothing super deep. Things took a sharp turn when we were chatting on Snapchat one day and the subject of virginity came up. He asked if I was a virgin, and I said yes. He then asked if he could take my virginity, and I told him yes. Things escalated from there, and it's hard to recall specifics from so long ago, especially from Snapchat where chat history gets deleted. I remember my family had a trip planned to California to visit my family for my birthday, and he asked if I would be able to come over to his house and have sex. I told him it would probably be a long shot because I was still 17 and my parents probably wouldn't let me out alone. Oh gosh. My stepdad ended up having a minor health complications that made us have to cancel our trip, a blessing in disguise. Sincerely, truly, a blessing in disguise. Although I never went to physically meet him, things continued to be sexual. We called a few times on Discord and he asked me for nudes quite often. Initially, I told him I wasn't comfortable with sending things like that, but I was afraid after a while he would lose interest, so I complied. I can't say exactly how many pictures/videos were exchanged, but it was quite a few. He initiated nearly every conversation because I was too intimidated to message him first in fear of bothering him. All of this went on for around 6 months when we started messaging less and less. My infatuation died and I was no longer looking through rose-tinted glasses. I gained a lot of perspective and felt used. Someone I looked up to and admired took advantage of me to get what he wanted. I ended up telling my friends who had no idea any of this was going on. They were outraged and wanted me to come forward right away. The only reason I didn't was to protect his girlfriend at the time. A few of his mods would do his dirty work for him and message me and my friends about wanting to come forward and keep us quiet. They defended him and would say he's changed and it's not worth ruining his career. I'm thankful for all the courageous men and women who have come forward and shared their stories. Because of that, I have a comfortable place to share mine. I'm also incredibly thankful to my friends for helping me and supporting me through all this. It's been a long back and forth of should I or shouldn't I. I have since moved on in the past 4 years and no longer associate with Craig or any of the people that tried to silence us. I'm glad I can finally heal. Sending so much love and comfort to Ash as well. Now let's go ahead and see what Craig initially had to say about it. So he posted this on Twitter and said, "Hi everyone, many of you are probably aware by now of the allegations recently made online about my behavior a few years ago. I read through everything that was said and shared and understand how unacceptable my actions were. I take full responsibility for the inappropriate texts and messages I sent. I regret having said or sent anything that made anyone uncomfortable or upset. I am truly and deeply sorry for what I did. I absolutely should have done what was necessary at the time, and that was seeking professional help, realizing that my actions were completely unacceptable and working to change my behaviors from the inside out. Moving forward, I fully commit to working on myself, including going to therapy, rethinking and changing some of my life choices, and personally apologizing to those I have harmed. I know it's hard to believe, and I totally get it. I haven't given you a reason to trust me, and I know I need to earn it, but that's on me to prove to you. I know there's no righting my wrongs here, and I want to express again how sorry I am to the people I have hurt and the fans I have let down. I have a long road of personal searching ahead of me, so that's my focus now. I will be back when the time is right. Take care of yourselves, Craig Thompson / Mini Lad." Now, if you take a look at his YouTube, it doesn't really seem like he took much of a break. It looks like maybe there was a month right here, this is 6 months ago, this is 4 months ago, where he took off of YouTube. But this is a really serious problem that I don't think can be fixed in 1 month. Being the kind of person who reaches out to underage fans and kind of guilts them into giving you what they want is an extremely manipulative behavior. And it's also illegal when the things that you want are sexual photos of underage girls and when you are sending them as well. You can't do that. And that's not, I don't know, that's just not something, in my opinion, that can be fixed in a few weeks. So I don't really see any huge break here. But you will also see he posted a video called "Clearing the Air," and in this video he mostly just talks about how he said he was going to go to therapy and people were calling him out for not going to therapy, but he found an online therapist and things are going well. Now let's go ahead and move on to his most recent apology. This was posted on the 28th of December and it's only about 7 minutes long, so should be a pretty quick one to get through. And initially, before even watching this, I don't know if it's a good apology or not, but I'm just trying to guess based on the length. I feel like good apologies should be short and sweet, but when YouTubers tend to make short apologies, they don't typically address the things that they need to address. So let's just see what happens.
Guys, this video has been a long time coming, and this is something that I've been wanting to talk about for a while, but 2020 has been an awful year for everybody, and I want to go into next year knowing that I have said my piece. I've told you guys exactly what's going on. As my fans, you guys deserve to know what's going on, and I hope this video helps you understand everything better, and I want to apologize for the things that I've done. I'll try and make this video as short as I can so I don't keep you guys here too long. I don't want this video...
I don't know, that first part where it's like, oh, 2020 has been hard for everyone, I want to go in with a clean slate. Like, it makes it sound like this is a totally relatable problem and not sexual manipulation of underage fans.
Be excused as an
But we'll see.
Or victimizing myself or anything like that. I just want to give you guys my thoughts. This is no more PR teams, no more anything like that. This is just Craig. This isn't Mini Lad.
Just Craig.
This is Craig talking, and I want to be as transparent as possible. But I wanted to explain through exactly what happened, the reason why I did it, and go from there. There was 2 people involved in this situation. Those names were Hallie and Ash. I'll be taking them individually. They happened around the same time. I wanted to just go through it with you guys. The first person that I wanted to...
It's interesting to me that he was going to 2 underage fans at the same time, both using them to carry the emotional labor of his breakup.
That was Hallie. A lot of people think that these people were random fans that I got in contact with, but both Hallie and Ash, these are people who are my friends. Hallie I've known for a long time, since
they shouldn't have been.
2014. Hallie was one of my Twitch mods. Hallie was a really good Twitch mod. She helped me out, she helped Terrorize her out, she helped a lot of the guys who I played with on our streams, and she was someone that I could go to with my problems. We became close because we both had our issues.
You shouldn't have done that. I mean, I don't know how different it is on Twitch. I know like Discord mods, those people tend to be a lot closer with the creator. So I don't know how close mods tend to be on Twitch, or if they're even close to the creator at all emotionally. But I think it's okay to say, okay, well, you're 16, 17 years old, you're underage, but yeah, you can be a moderator and delete inappropriate comments, whatever. But then to take it a step further and have that underage girl become your friend, I don't understand the logic of thinking that that's an appropriate thing to do.
My place to say what's going on with her, but she's someone who has helped me out a lot. The first thing that I wanted to say was I added Hallie on Snapchat when she was 16. This isn't when I was making any remarks towards her. This is just where I talked to all of my friends.
Gross.
I was that guy that had streaks, and I wanted to make sure that our streaks were good, because back in 2015, that's kind of what people did.
Great, do it with people who are over the age of 18.
It wasn't until 2016, when she was 17, that I first started to flirt with her. I was 21 at the time. And that's not okay. Like, I'm aware of that.
Look me in the eyes.
With Hallie and both with Ash, I sent the messages around this time, and I understand what I'm going to say next is quite taboo online, but if this is my way of putting all my cards on the table and telling you guys what happened, I feel like I need to say it. The reason I did what I did, and there was even a message where
he said, my actual thought process, very sad all around, really. Why, even before this, I've hated myself for the last year every day. My thought process is she's nearly 18, doesn't excuse it, but hey, here we are. I'm sorry, I'm scared. I saw that tweet. Hallie. The manipulation, like justifying it and then saying, I know that that doesn't justify it, but this is where we are. I'm sorry, I'm scared. I'm so scared that people are calling me out for the thing that I did to you. Ooh. Ooh.
This is because what I said there is true.
I know this is random, but I've been defending you a lot. Do you mean it when you said you didn't know she was underage? It's because I promised myself to defend you. Those are coming from Hallie, and he said, I knew she was 17, but I was suicidal and said to myself, if I'm going to kill myself, I thought I'd go down swinging my actual thought process. Thought I'd go down swinging and emotionally damaging a 17-year-old.
Did try to end my life at the beginning of 2017. I'm not looking for sympathy. I'm not looking for anything. This is not what this is about. This is...
I didn't think that was what was coming next. Again, I do have empathy for mental health struggle, but at the same time, you cannot use poor mental health on your part to excuse harmful things you have done to others. You know, I think you can understand that you have a mental health problem and say, you know what, I'm really sorry that I snapped on you or that I was rude to you or I blew you off. You know, I was having a bad day with this. But, you know, being suicidal doesn't make you manipulate your fans. Like, I don't see the correlation there.
Telling you guys the reason, and I just want you to understand the headspace that I was in. The reality is I was being selfish. I wasn't thinking about repercussions. I wasn't thinking about anything. I was just being stupid, and I really want to apologize for that. I just wasn't thinking, and I regret it. I've regretted it since, and for that, for both Hallie and Ash, I'm really sorry. Ash, to me, I knew a lot shorter. I may only have known her a few months.
This one says, my bae, Craig, you're my bae. Me, hi bae, Craig, hi bae. Me, who's Ash. There's no bae Snapchat sticker. I'm sad, Craig. Love you, bae. Ash, love you too, bae. Why is my Snapchat so broken? And I will say, I've seen the full screenshot of this. This is clipped. Where's the rest of it, Craig?
She was a part of a group of friends who my Twitch mods were friends with, and that's how we became...
Okay, let me find you the exact wording of what he cut out, because it's bad, and I understand why he wouldn't want to show it on screen. So the rest of it says, so Ash says, why is my Snapchat so broken? Craig says, I'm hard, bae. Ash says, I'm sorry, bae. I wish I could help. And Craig says, can't I come for you, bae? I understand why you wouldn't want to include that in your little apology video.
This is someone who I became friends with just through association with my friends, and the stuff I said to her is just not okay either. And that's not what I want. You know, she was someone that I really did call my friend, and it sucks that
that's not how you treat your friends.
Like that. I also wanted to point out a message that I sent to Laura, who was a part of my Discord mods. She's someone who I met a few years back, maybe 2016, and she was someone who I considered a friend as well. Whenever we went to Insomnia, we used to hang out and meet up at the booth that Terrorizer and I had, and I sent this message whenever I saw them coming out.
Hey man, yeah, Ash has tweeted on her private mentioning writing her own expose. Can you talk to her? Tell her that I'm not who I was when I was younger. Tell her my suicide attempt. Sure, I'll do my best. He says, keep me posted. I'm really scared. Yeah, well, you're scared of being exposed. You are. Tell her my suicide attempt. Tell her about that so she won't talk about the bad thing I did to her. This is gross, dude.
A message I sent them this. This isn't me.
It is
it's
you.
Not right.
It is you because you did it.
It's something that I completely regret. I panicked. I was scared. I didn't know what to do, and I love my job so much that I didn't.
Is he reading off of a script?
To go away, and
I'm trying to like follow his eyes.
So to Hallie and to Ash here at the end up, and even to Laura for bringing that up, I'm sorry, guys. You were my friends. I failed you. I was only thinking of myself, and I was being stupid. I wish I could take it all back. But I also wanted to add in here that a lot of people think that I haven't apologized to these girls. I had to fight my PR team for this, but in my initial apology on Twitter, I said that I would privately message
Okay, we read that.
A separate apology to these women, and that's what I did. My PR team said not to message them, but these were my friends, and I thought it was right that they deserved their own private apology. And I'm not going to show the apology, I'm going to blur it out, but I want to show that it's there. It wouldn't be a private apology if I told you guys what was in it. So I hope you can understand the privacy in that matter. I have no ill will against you guys. I want you guys to go out there and I want you to prosper.
They do deserve an apology, but I wonder, I don't know. I guess it's good. I mean, if it came from the heart, who am I to say how they might have felt about getting an apology?
I want you to live up the exact life that you want to live. I want you to be happy. Because one thing I've learned over this last 6 months is I care about the happiness of my friends. I realize that I let you down, and I hope that life is good to you from here on out. So my final thoughts, just to wrap up what I've been doing the last 6 months and why it's taken me so long. Well, the reason why it's taken me so long to make this video is I was scared. Pretty early on, I wasn't okay. That's the reason why I went back to Northern Ireland, not to flee charges, but just to go back with my family. YouTube is my life. I've been doing it full time for 7, 8 years now. The Maylad channel is 10 years old next year, and it's all I know. It's what I love. It's my passion. It's what I wake up every day and I love to do. And I realized over the last few years that I just haven't put the love and attention into it than what I want. I want it to be like a portfolio of the cool things that I've done, and I want to rekindle myself. I want to find out who I am. Not Maylad, not anything like that. I want to find Craig. I've been in therapy.
He's doing that thing. I like to call it preacher voice. You invoke this emotion with the way that you're speaking. You could be saying something that's completely irrelevant and wouldn't cause an emotional reaction in anybody whatsoever, but you bring yourself up and you get this tone in your voice where what you are saying sounds like it really, really matters to trick people into thinking that you're getting emotional. I don't know if you, that's just how I feel about what he's saying.
The last 6 months. Admittedly, I've been in there every week apart from a few weeks because of Thanksgiving and Christmas and everything like that. And as much as I know that through this I broke your guys' trust, I don't expect daffodils and rainbows after this. I want it to
Good.
be raw. I want you guys to build up trust in
I
me
don't
over
like
time.
that word.
I want to be able to make videos that I'm proud of, and I want to be able to be better, and that's what I wanted to say. So thank you all so much for watching. There may be bits and pieces that I missed, and for that I apologize. But I wanted to try and get everything in here. So this is all my cards on the table. This is me being as transparent as I can. I want to say thank you for watching, and
Look
have a
at
happy
us.
new year. And I will see you all in 2021. Let's pray for a good 2021. So thank you guys.
All right, well, that was his apology. That whole thing really, to me, felt disingenuous. I understand wanting to use a script to keep yourself on track, to make sure you hit all the points that you need to hit, yada, 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 yada. But with an apology, it's like you're keeping your head down because either you can't even remember what it is you're apologizing for, or you don't want to actually look at the camera. Because even though there's not another person right there, it is still a little bit more intimate to look at the lens and kind of imagine who's going to be seeing this, who you are talking to, than if you just look away and talk, because you can be really unfocused and you can kind of distance yourself and dissociate from what it is that you're actually saying. So I don't know, I guess I feel performance-wise it could have been a lot better, but in any case, his actions were incredibly inappropriate and illegal. I would assume this is something that, you can't really get to the root of in a matter of just a few weeks. I think, as somebody who has as many subscribers as he does, he absolutely could afford to take some time off and really do some soul searching. For actual change to happen, you actually have to do the work to make the change happen. So this whole situation is gross. I would love it if influencers could just be like decent people, just be like nice human beings. Don't take advantage of the relationship between yourselves and your fans. They don't deserve that, and if you're the type of person who is willing to do that to a fan, you really don't deserve a platform, because you're going to be irresponsible and harmful with it. But with all that being said, I would love to know what y'all think of the situation. If you know anybody who maybe has exhibited behavior similar to this, if you think it's possible to change, if you think this was a good apology or a bad one, or what he can actually do to make it right. And while you're doing that, if you would consider liking this video or subscribing to my channel, that would be incredible. And if you have subscribed already, thank you so much. I am so appreciative of you, and I love being able to just sit here, hang out with you, and talk about whatever. Thank you so much for watching. Please be kind to people, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.